Welcome back, my friends, to another episode of TFT Hyperroll with Artar. Yeah, I know, I'm sorry, but I have to say it. Like, comment, subscribe. Here's the little graphic. It's cute. Yay. Okay, let's get into the video. So, I mentioned in my big 8.5 glitched out video how versatile admin was, and this is one of the builds that I mentioned, so let's show it. The real key with admin this season is what admin traits you get, and then you can probably figure out from there which direction you want to go, unless you get a real clear sign during the NPC round, such as, you know, a LeBlanc right off the bat. So we put out LeBlanc and decide to find out what admin trait we have access to. They have nerfed this one just a little tiny bit, not a huge amount, but combat start, admins gain 100 permanent health. It's now down to 80 when you get this, at least that's what I've seen. They might nerf it more, they might not, but yeah, you're about to see what this can end up doing. Once I get that, I either want to go Brawler admin or Laser admin, depending on what champions I get and what augments I get. And we are going to start this one with a hero augment, and I got a little stuck at this point because dynamic defenses could be really good. But they're also offering two costs in here, as you can see from the mana tempering that is being offered with Sivir. So I decided to roll and see if maybe I can get something else that's going to help. Nothing here is going to fit. Nothing here is going to fit. Spirit of the Exile is a pretty good one and can be used with Laser Corp, so that means I can go admin laser in this case, and the admins are going to get really tanky as they go. And let's speed up these first fights because I really don't expect to win early. That's not how this team is being set up. We're gaining health every time battle starts, so the idea is that right now I'm just getting the admins out so that they can increase their power as they go. And to that end, yes, I should have Camille out there instead of Yasuo, even though I got him up to 2 stars and he's going to help win this particular round. I probably would have been better getting the additional 200 health on Camille than just saving the 2 health at this moment. I finally did the right thing and got Camille out there, and it's a little frustrating because I have a 2-star Ashe, I have a 2-star Renekton, so I could have a really good chance of winning these early matches, but it's 2 health. 2 health on the health charts versus 100 health on top of the champion, which will be so valuable later on. Item-wise, I'm actually thinking more about my Warwick items, so we're going to go with the bow because that will be part of either a Last Whisper or a Rage Blade or many of the other things that will help with Warwick. And even though we're running without items and we really don't have any synergies besides from the 3 admin, we can win every now and then. LeBlanc is a strong champ, Yasuo is a strong champ, and we are getting the benefit of his hero augment, so we're getting some increased attack speed since I'm not putting people next to each other. It's time for our second augment, and this was a really easy choice for me. Second Wind. Champion health is going to be really high, especially for our admins, and getting 60% of it back after 10 seconds, yeah, it's a pretty good deal. So we're going to start stacking some health on Blitzcrank. And luckily, Ava is working at her desk, so yeah, there's a very early Warwick with a 2% chance, which means we can take out Renekton, put in Warwick, and it gives us the chance to gain another 100 health at the beginning of every combat. So now we will be gaining 200 health at the start of every combat. We're going to load up Warwick with some items that will work for him, and so we go Deathblade, Last Whisperer, and Titan's Resolve, and it's time to have some fun. And I get it, this game is kind of blessed. Normally you don't have all 4 admins by 5-2, and they did nerf that just a little bit. Again, it's now 80 health instead of 100, at least the last time I checked. Keep in mind, I'm quoting hyperroll numbers. I think in regulars, it is 40 health that you get, not the 80. The 80 is just for hyperroll. And the nasty thing about this is with getting Warwick so early, he's going to get even stronger than he otherwise would have. You normally wouldn't expect to get Warwick until sometime during level 7, but getting him here, he's gaining over 200 health per combat, so he's going to have about 1,000 extra health by the time we're done. And the second win on top of this almost feels mean. By the way, by 1,000 extra health, I'm not talking overall, I'm just talking about on top of what he would have gotten if we picked him up in stage 7 instead of in stage 5. He's going to get well more than 1,000 health throughout this match, even if we had gotten him in stage 7. So first we have an item choice and then an augment. We're going to go grab the needlessly large rod because it's time to itemize LeBlanc. And then we know Ava's at her desk because she just gifted me with a Laser Corp crown. So we're going to be able to get to the 6 Laser Corp in this match, which is going along with the ridiculously lucky admin traits we got and the early Warwick. Thank you, Ava. I always appreciate when you're part of the team. I decided to go ahead and make Blitz the additional Laser Corp because I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to get him up to 3-star gold, and he's also going to have a ton of health thanks to being in the game so early and the Warmogs on top of it. And yeah, thanks to Ava, there he is, our gold 3-star Blitz. And yeah, this is starting to feel just a little bit unfair now. If you can see the health bar on Blitz, it's a little ridiculous. But again, it has been nerfed a tiny bit, but not enough to change this that much. I've brought in a Riven, so we're now up to the 4 Brawlers, so we're getting additional health bonuses there. Gonna go ahead and grab the Ionic Spark, and then get our next item choice, and we get an option of a Sunfire Cape, which we can go ahead and grab. We can use any of our frontliners at this point, which is Camille, who has a ridiculous amount of health, Blitz, who has a nonsensical amount of health, and Renekton, who has just a normal, large amount of health. And oh yeah, the 2-star Warwick while we're at it. This person is running the Infiniteam Sure Shot build, which is a really strong build and normally would have probably wiped this team if not for the fact that the health is ridiculous. You can see Misfortune barely dents Blitzcrank, and then we're able to finish them off with our people just with a nonsensical amount of health left. We do a quick health check on Blitz, and he's up above 8,600 at this point. And the one thing out there that might have more health than our Blitzcrank is a 3-star super mech. The only problem is there's only one of the 3-star super mech, and we have 4 admins with ridiculous amounts of health, so they can continue to hold on even as their 2 3-star gold mech team ends up getting knocked out. And that brings us into the top 4. It's time for our final 2 item choices, and although they're going to go on an Ezreal, I'm not actually picking them up for Ezreal. I'm really hoping to get a Mordekaiser. So these are Mordekaiser items that Ezreal is just holding because he'll kind of work until I find Mord, who is the final Laser Corp. Ezreal is an AD champ, Mordekaiser is an AP champ. So I picked up the Hextech Gunblade and the Jeweled Gauntlet with the hopes that I would find Mordekaiser before the next round started, which I did, grabbed, swapped, and we can get the items on the right person. Someone noticed the size of our Blitzcrank, and yeah, he was almost up to 10k at this point. Not quite, he was still in the 9,000 range, but we're continuing to gain as it goes. You can see Mordekaiser adds that little extra. We're now on the 6 Laser Corp, so everyone is doing a lot of damage with the Laser Corp. Aatrox is very strong, but not quite strong enough to survive against that much health on a Blitzcrank and that much attack from Warwick and LeBlanc. So ultimately, they go down. And what makes this combination beyond the ridiculousness of the health, but what makes it really hard to battle against is that it's got multiple types of damage. You have LeBlanc doing an immense amount of AP damage and Warwick doing an immense amount of AD damage. Your frontline is fairly tanky. Even if they nerfed it a little bit, you're still going to be able to get large amounts of health and have 4 brawlers, which is going to increase their health. So you have a really good chance with this build. Again, it depends a lot on what augment you get from ADMIN. A little check-in on Blitz's health, and yes, he has gone over 10,000 health, which is just nuts. This team we're against is really well set up. They have a gold 3-star Vex with fantastic items, but we're just a little too much beef. They can't get through it all in enough time to avoid all of our damage. As you can see, their Aatrox tries really hard, but we ultimately get through that, cut through to their backline, and ultimately through to Vex, and it's GG for everyone. Hope you enjoyed this video. Give this build a chance. Even if it's nerfed a little bit, it's worth trying out. And as always, hope you have an absolutely awesome day.